Welcome to the Wrong Words podcast, where we challenge conventional thinkers and explore the depths of language. Hosted by Oliver and Luvon, this podcast is more than a conversation. It's a community, a space for like-minded, contemporary, and unconventional thinkers to gather, question, and grow together. We believe words are powerful. They shape our emotions, define our thoughts, and convey our deepest love. But here's the question. Are we using them correctly? Or have words become a mask, concealing unresolved trauma and filling voids that they were never meant to satisfy? What if we've been misusing them all along? On this journey, we'll dig deeper into the meaning of the words we speak, asking if we even need them at all to express our truths. If you're ready to explore language like never before and to uncover how the wrong words can impact everything from relationships to self-perception, then you've come to the right place. Let's redefine the way we communicate together. You're listening to the Wrong Words podcast.
What's up, everybody? We are back. We back, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Listen, these conversations, man, all I can say, I think I probably said it in the beginning of every one, but first of all, welcome.
Yes, howdy.
Welcome. Good to see you, bro.
Same here.
And for those of you who are tuning in, thank you for being here. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate it. Let me say this at just right up top, because I don't think we've said this before. If you are looking to see when the episodes are going to drop, you want to check us out on Fridays. Typically, the episodes drop on Fridays. And if you are following us on YouTube, those episodes, the videos drop on Fridays as well, sometimes Friday afternoons. So you can watch us as well as listen to us as well. If you're new to us, welcome. This is the Wrong Words podcast, where we talk about all kinds of wrong words or how we use them.
Wrong.
It might not necessarily be wrong words, but often they're used in the wrong context. And
Yeah, because they're not misspelled.
right, they're not misspelled. And
Or how we've learned to use them.
how we've learned to use them.
Yeah, because your mama had said a bunch of things that
Man,
when you said, man, that sounds old.
but it's stuck.
Yep.
And we ended up doing some things with them we probably shouldn't have done. So if you haven't listened to the other episodes, go back and check out the other episodes. We talked about love. We talked about friendship. And we talked about accountability. And those.
Oh, we talked about family. Don't forget that one.
We talked about family. And yes, we talked about family. That's right.
Did we drop that one yet?
We didn't drop it yet.
Oh, boy, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we talked about family. That's coming up. Coming up. Family's coming up. Matter of fact, that might be a two-parter.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason why part one hasn't dropped yet is because that might be a two-parter. But yeah, man, serious conversations. And the goal is not for us to tell you what to think. We are having these conversations and we're learning just like you are.
Yes, sir.
We're going through discovery just like you are. And the hope is that you would go through this discovery, evaluate your usage of the words. Are there adjustments that can be made? And let's grow together in this community.
And please share.
Please share.
Because I'm trying to tell you, that's all I'm doing, Doc.
Yeah.
Is sharing. From my own vantage points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make a declaration for nothing else except my experience with the use of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Today's no different. And if you saw the title, you should probably buckle up because this is going to be one of those, man. And I dare say, for those of us who have I was going to say spiritual, but not necessarily spiritual, that have a religious background.
Okay.
Really probably wrestle with this word.
I always laugh when I hear those two words
I know,
together.
really.
Really, probably.
Yeah, I know. When I said it, I was like, oh yeah,
Like, yeah, maybe.
They probably have. They probably wrestle with this word, and the word is hope.
Ooh.
Hope.
It's always them darn 4-letter words, Doc.
It is.
That be banging you in your head.
Yep.
Love, 4-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
That have the most impact on the planet.
Yep. Fear, which is one that's coming up down the road.
Oh. Yeah, when we get there.
Yeah.
Well.
Hope, man. And so the crazy thing is, I know just without us even going into it, and for those of you who are new to this process, what we do is we give some definitions of the word. We talk about the origins of the word. There's a scriptural reference that we have, and then there might be some synonyms or some types of the word, different contextual things that we talk about. So we're going to do that, but I just want to say this before we jump into the definitions. That word, as soon as I saw the word hope, immediately in my mind, I was like, I know I use it wrong.
Oh, okay.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Yeah, well, I don't need to piggyback on none of that. Doc.
Yeah,
because that's a whole nother episode by itself.
It is a whole nother episode. Now, what's interesting, I said that people with a religious background probably wrestle with this word.
Okay. Religion
is an upcoming word.
Ooh.
Just that we just throwing out some previews for folks so that they can stay tapped in. That's a word that's coming down the road as well. Hope is an interesting thing, man, because hope can be just as much a motivator as it can be a monster.
Oh yeah. Hope is a deterrent.
Yeah.
You know, what's crazy about just this 4-letter word, it's as if hope is the precursor to expectation.
Okay.
Yeah, like I hope for a result.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't get to the expected end of this, I've kind of lost hope, hence the monster.
Right. So interesting you would put it as the precursor. I thought about it the opposite, that you have this expectation and talking about its misusage. We have this expectation, and instead of actually creating a game plan for that expectation, we institute hope.
Correct. And that is...
And hope
sometimes kills.
It causes us to stay stagnant.
Well, I mean, that lends it to a whole nother just conversation about emotionally intelligent, spiritually intelligent, financially intelligent.
Yeah.
Hope rests in all of those areas, Doc.
It does. Now, let me give one more preview for those of you who are listening, right? Because, and this will make sense when we give the scriptural reference. The word faith is coming up down the road as well.
Okay.
And in a religious context, these two words are sometimes incorrectly interchanged.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
It's almost like hope equals faith.
Right.
And that ain't true all the time.
That's not true all the time.
Right.
And there's a component of faith that proves that that's not true all the time.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get into faith. Let's get into this word, though. Let's jump into some definitions, and let's see where we go from there. We got the dictionary.com definition that says the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. Why are you laughing? You probably laugh for the same reason I'm laughing. Why are you laughing about that?
The feeling that what is wanted
can be had. Now you understand. For those of you who are listening, now you understand why I said this can be a motivator and it can be a monster. Because if hope is the feeling that what is wanted can be had, and you stop there, you ain't getting it.
Right. Somebody told me it's a fact that you feel, but your feelings aren't fact.
That's right.
So that's exactly what that just is.
Yeah. So the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. What it does not say in that definition is that you play a part in that.
Yeah, you have to do something.
Like, you can't just hope that things are going to turn out for the best and you just not doing nothing.
So let's really look at that. Let's really look at that thought that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I can hope something turns out for the best,
Mm-hmm.
but do nothing. The result is still the best because you did nothing.
Mm. No, I never thought about it that way.
Somebody told me, if you do what's right's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you do what's wrong, what's right is going to happen. The result is always the correct one.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
So the events will turn out for the best. They always turn out for the best.
Well, that's phenomenal encouragement for somebody out there.
Yep.
Because here's the other side of that coin, and here's where spiritual folk would probably buck against this. There is an argument to be made for going through instances in life where hope requires you to do nothing.
Correct. I think that's really what hope is, Doug. Hope does not have a precursor or requirement. Hope is just hope.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is like trust. I don't work at trusting somebody. I just pay attention to what makes me not trust them.
Okay.
Yeah, like I didn't mean.
Because normally you hear the other side of that, right? That trust is, and I've even kind of working with couples have even kind of gone through this too, that trust is built. And if you think about something being built, you can't sit still and something be built. But that's an interesting concept that you say. You don't work at trusting. You recognize what is untrustworthy.
Correct.
So you come about it from a different angle.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's, again, it's going to turn out for the best, because then you just act accordingly.
So you come at hope that same way.
Yes. Because if I place too much hope on a thing, so let's go back to your analogy about the building. I have to build something. I'm not building trust. I'm building wealth. I'm building an idea that we could move. I'm building an idea that we could travel. I'm building an idea that we love. So trust is tied into the end of the thing, not the thing.
Okay.
It's like, I don't walk up to you when I met you and say, boy, I like you. I hope I could trust you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So another preview. We're gonna have to put trust on the list.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take. Like, I got to think through that.
Yeah, because I don't hope I could trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That just don't make sense.
So speaking of that, then. So, and I'm stretching what you said. There are certain things you cannot hope for.
Correct.
Okay, hold that thought. Let's go to the next definition. Merriam-Webster says to cherish a desire with anticipation, to want something to happen or to be true. To cherish a desire with anticipation.
That's a knowing.
So there's a component of hope that
creates a knowing.
Right. There's confidence is a component of hope.
Correct. I can only anticipate what I already know, what I remember, what you've taught me.
So with that in mind, man, this is, and fitting, this is the Wrong Words podcast. There are many people who use the word hope incorrectly because they're hoping for something they have no confidence in.
Or experience with. If I don't have an experience or exchange of anything with humanity, I can't hope that humanity will do anything.
Okay. So what is that called then? So if confidence is a component of hope,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't, and we are hoping, I'm doing that in air quotes, for something that we don't have confidence in, what is that called then, if it's not called hope?
I think that's where faith rests.
So that's the line.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, hope is I have some experience already. I hope could be to work on time today. The only reason I hope that is because I've been on time before.
That's going to make a lot of sense when we get to the scriptural reference. This is interesting for me. And for those of you who are listening, I'm kind of, if you're watching the video, you kind of see I'm kind of all over the place, because I'm really thinking this through like on the fly right now, because I said in the beginning that I know I've used it incorrectly, but now in the little bit of time that we've been talking about it with just these two definitions, I'm certain I've been using it incorrectly.
And what's interesting, and the viewers and listeners need to know this, Doc, a lot of times when we sit in this chair and start this, we have no idea which word we're going to talk about.
Right.
So this isn't rehearsed. This isn't prepared. We don't have notes in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
We just guys that are talking.
Yeah.
And what we're also doing is we're remembering from a past, from us in the past. But what we're also doing is trying to create another thing called possibility, something we haven't lived yet.
Mm-hmm.
And hope rests in both worlds.
It does. And from the definitions that we just gave, that's very true. Here's the third and final definition. It's from the Oxford English. And it is a feeling of wanting and expecting something to happen or be true. So there's that word expectation, expecting.
Yes.
So there's a level of expectation. That's a component of hope. There is a level of confidence, which is a component of hope. And devoid of those components, maybe you're just wishing.
Wish upon a star.
Maybe that's what that's called. But if you think about it, there are many people who use hope and wish interchangeably.
Yeah. Hope equals wish.
They can't be the same thing, though, because a wish can be tied to something you have absolutely no confidence in.
Well, you just, again, explained hope. Hope is always a future thing.
Hope always has some level of expectation and some level of confidence.
And look at every definition ties it to anticipation, feeling. A feeling is a future thing.
Yeah. And it's tied to, and although we may want to dispel this, it is often tied to something concrete. Even if somebody says, hey, what you're feeling is incorrect, because you know that there's a different context, what they're feeling is still tied to something concrete for them.
Correct. It's almost like what we said last week. They bought those other things into the account.
Right.
So, yes, we attach hope based on our experiences to everybody.
I have been using this word incorrect.
Yeah, bruh. Like I said, I'm not even going to jump on the train with you because I think I built the train.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, let's keep going. Let's do some origins. Man, that's crazy, bro. Hold on, before we get into the origins, because I'm thinking.
Go ahead, do tell. They want to hear what you got to say.
So much going on in my head, right? So I think about growing up, right? So I grew up in a household. My parents were church folks, so I grew up in church, and I remember just little things as a kid, like you're hoping that you're going to get the bike for Christmas.
Future thought.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're hoping that you're going to have a good time when you go on a class trip.
Future thought.
Right? You're hoping that, this outfit that you putting together, that, the girl that you crushing on is going to be like, you fresh today.
Future thought.
Yeah.
No experience with any of that stuff yet.
No experience with anything. However, there also was, if I use those same 3 examples, it was also tied to something concrete.
Yes, like there was a girl that thought she was fresh.
Right.
There was a Christmas that you got a bike.
And there was going to be a class trip.
There it is.
So you could have some level, even if it wasn't high confidence, some inkling of confidence and some kind of expectation.
But here's where the hope runs awry. Hope really runs awry when you attach it to something outside of yourself.
Talk about that.
Instead of just hoping that you be the best. Mm-hmm. Remember we talked last week about a standard? Mm-hmm. If hope is a standard, I hope that I am not offending, not hurting, show up on time, mm-hmm. I'm respecting. If I hope that I can be my best all the time, I think it goes back to the top statement that it will turn out for the best. Mm-hmm. Hope is a very, very personal inside thing. We use it outside. Like, I hope my uncle don't come over here drunk like he was. Remember? Last time. We're remembering.
Yeah. Wow. So hope could also, in some instances, have a component of, I was going to say disappointment, but let me tie it all into one word. Hope could have some component of nostalgia.
Yes, but let's use the fancy word that they use today. Energy.
Energy.
You create that energy.
Yeah. Yeah. And some component of maybe negative energy.
Yes.
Or positive energy. So there's some level of remembrance, like you're saying, that causes you to now tie into something that has an expectation component and a confidence component.
Yeah. All built on a feeling. So if my feeling is skewed, it's not going to change the outcome because I went into it wrong. Somebody used to tell me this. If you're in an argument with someone and you walk into that same room and you had the argument last week, if you come in as if that argument just took place outside, the same energy will be in that room. Mm-hmm. If I walked in there with a different attitude, with a different perspective, I now change the environment.
Yeah.
Because I'm not caught or stuck in that feeling, hoping the result is different.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I'm having a conversation with a client about a similar situation like that, where what I'm telling them is that your ability and willingness to do that, to go in and change, creates a level of dissonance that is often conducive to the growth you were seeking anyway.
Absolutely, Doc. That's so there's another word, I don't know if it's on our list, called manipulation. Mm-hmm. We can also manipulate stuff for good.
True.
Doesn't always need to be.
True.
That word is not bad.
Right. It's not always, doesn't always have a negative
connotation. Right. So that's the wrong usage a lot of times. We can we can change our perception, mm-hmm. which changes the overall perspective for everybody.
Yeah.
You walk in happy, people knock you over the head. Why he so happy all the time?
Right.
You walk in sad, now they want to chat with you. What's wrong?
And this is a whole nother topic, but that's often steeped in their need to save as opposed to support.
Correct. Like with my children, they don't hope that they get good grades.
Mhm.
They study so that they can.
Okay.
They don't hope that they pass a test. They study so that they can. I don't hope the gym is open because I need to lose weight. I just need to hope that I can make it to the gym safely.
Yeah. And you just created the chasm between hope and wish, right?
Yes.
There are people who say they hope that they're going to do well in that class, but they're not putting in what's necessary. What's the expectation and the confidence is not there.
Correct.
So essentially you're wishing.
Yes.
All right. Let's get into this old English origin.
I need to say this, though.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that you take over the etymology part
Mhm.
because the enunciation of some of those words, I wouldn't be winning there, Doc.
Trust me. I don't think I'm winning either. I don't think I'm winning either. And this is a good example of that. I'm definitely guessing at this one. The old English word is Hoppian. Hopian. And that word means to have trust or expectation or expectation. Whew. There's that word again. Expectation. Wow. You know what's crazy? Okay. Here's what's crazy. We talked about not really looking through this. Like the only prep that happens is we have a list of words and I've gone through and gotten the definitions, the origins, and some information, scriptural references and things like that. But this list was made a while back. So there's certain things that I just don't remember and haven't looked at. Today's word we didn't look at. Think about everything that we've just talked about up until this point. When I give the Proto-Germanic origin, think about everything we talked about. Proto-Germanic origin is, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. It's Hupong, I think it is, or Hupong, Huponq. Check what this word means: to look forward with confidence. So the Old English has the word expectation in it.
Mm-hmm.
We said there's a component of that.
Mm-hmm.
The Proto-Germanic origin has the word confidence in it.
Mm-hmm.
We said there was a component of that. That's crazy. And listen, folks, I promise you, we're going through this today for the first time.
Yes. Yep.
All this is doing is proving that Oliver Marcelle has been using this word incorrectly.
Don't leave me out, Doc. Yeah, just make sure you include me every time you say that.
And we're just going to keep adding to. It's almost like we're driving a nail into the ground. Wait till you hear the rest of these. Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. The Hebrew word is tikvah, which means in Hebrew, expectation.
Well,
let's keep going. The Greek word, elpis. That word in Greek means expectation.
Well,
trust, confident hope. And if you needed one more hammer hit on the nail, the Aramaic word is sabra, which means expectation. That's crazy. Expectation, anticipation. So all the times in my life that I have been hoping for things and had no expectation, I was not hoping. I was wishing.
Hey.
And the scriptural reference, which is something that if you're a church person, you have heard this a million times if you've heard it once, is going to drive this point home as well. So, again, we're not telling you all what to think.
Or how to think.
Or how to think. We just want you to think.
Yeah, we just two men with a truck.
Right. Right. And all I can talk about is myself with this one, to say that, man, there's things that I knew and was still misusing the word.
Okay. I think that ties into another word, though, fear.
True.
Yeah, because once you know, hope goes away. Wish shows up.
That's good. You said it perfectly. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Because there are many people who I bet you, I'm willing to bet money, they start out in hope.
Yes.
They have an expectation.
Yes.
They are confident.
Yes.
And either too much time goes by.
Yes.
Or too many disappointments happen.
Yes.
And they lose the confidence and they don't expect no more.
Right. They just wish from now on.
Yeah.
Oof. That don't sound like a happy life, Doc.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And I think that's the plight of, if I may dare to stretch to say this, I think that's the plight of humanity, but we replace it and we make it feel very pretty when we say, just surviving.
Yeah.
Or this other fancy, pretty word, it's a hustle. Life ain't supposed to be a hustle. Boy, I'm just out here grinding. Grinding what?
Yeah. Now you add more words.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
I'm hoping that I can pound this enough.
Right.
To make it smooth.
Yeah. And that's wishing. Right?
Yes.
Because if you're hoping that you could pound this enough to make it smooth, you have an expectation.
That it'll be smooth.
And you have a confidence. And what we didn't say is, generally, those two components lead to some level of planning and action.
Yes.
Even if you don't know all that you need in the planning phase, and even if you don't know all of the things that you need to do in the action phase, because you're confident and because you have an expectation, you're going to make a move.
You will. And they say that a lot in golf, Doc. If you can't see where you going to hit the ball, your swing is not its fullest because you lack the confidence. However, if you could see a direction in confidence, you hope that you could perform.
Yeah. Listen, that hopefully can change the game for some folks.
So here's what's real crazy, Doc. Now that I'm thinking about this a lot, hope is like a performance. It's not really a thing. It's a moving, living thing.
Which is a phenomenal segue into the scriptural reference.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal. Scriptural reference is a verse that if you've been in church, you have heard 1,000,000 times, and it is Hebrews 11:1. And I only put the A clause of it, but I'm going to say the whole verse. The A clause of the verse is faith is the substance of things hoped for.
So, let's stop right there. Substance is a tangible.
Exactly. And that's why I said what you just said was a perfect segue.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, bro.
And the B clause of that is it's the evidence.
The memory.
Of things you don't see.
Yeah. The memory of things that I know exist. I ain't seen it yet, though. But I've seen grass grow. I ain't seen how it grow.
Right.
I've seen trees grow. I don't know how. So I've seen the beginning and sort of a middle and sort of an end.
And so when spring comes around, you expect it.
There it is.
And you're confident that it's going to show up.
Yeah, because I don't hope that my grass going to grow.
And it's the substance of the stuff you hope for.
Yeah.
And it's the evidence of the stuff you don't see, because ain't nobody living in the ground to understand what's going on.
No.
Imagine living life under the most authentic and truest version of hope.
Ooh. Ooh.
People will be out here doing all kinds of stuff that's not happening right now.
Ooh.
Because there would be an expectation and there would be a level of confidence, and that expectation and confidence would motivate them to act.
So that's interesting, Doc, because now what that ultimately does is it activates every chakra in your body.
Okay.
I mean, you could go from root to higher self on demand now, because I want the highest and best usage from me.
Yeah.
And if you are acting at that same level of highest and best self of you, we can do highest and best self for the planet.
Yeah, that's good. It makes me think of this, right? We've heard people who do motivational speaking, who do business development, do different things, right? This statement, and I'm paraphrasing, that says you got to act like it's already happening.
Yes.
And I'll be honest. I'm a moment of transparency. There are times where I don't necessarily understand that. And this conversation is showing me that the times when I don't understand that, I'm not living the truest version of the word hope.
Okay.
Because the moment that you feel like you can't act like it's already happening, you have already lost the confidence that it will happen.
Yes. Or the feeling that motivates you to do it.
Oh yeah, that's good. Wow.
And you know me, Doc. I'm a future living guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I already had the experience of the past. I don't need to stay there.
Right.
I try to stay and live inside of the possibility so that I can dispel what I hope and live as I see it.
You said something in the men's ministry meeting that we had a while back, that we need to start from Z.
Correct.
The concept of starting from Z is pretty much what hope is.
Yes.
I'm just putting those two things together right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you knew what I meant when I said that.
No, I knew what you meant, but in terms of how that aligns with hope, I'm putting that together right now.
Okay.
I got what you meant, like, well, I'm gonna tell you what I got.
Okay.
So there's a concept around end gaming.
Okay.
Right? So you look at the end game. This is what the end game is, right? And because now we know what the end game is, now let's go back and create the path that gets us to the end game.
Correct.
I don't think I properly put that in line with what hope is.
Okay.
That was just an outside concept.
Yeah, I understand.
But in order for you to do that effectively, there has to be some level of expectation,
confidence,
and confidence,
and feeling that I can,
and anticipation.
Yeah, because your Z has to be big.
Right. And all of that is hope.
Yep. Z has to be the thing that makes you nervous. By the time you get to LMNOP, it becomes a little less nerving.
Right.
Because I've done ABCD to get there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see why these words are important.
Yeah. So the end game.
I should say, you see why these conversations are important.
Yeah. Let's just look at pro athletes, Doc. The end game is the NFL. I hope I can make it. But I started this journey in the 3rd grade.
Right.
I didn't leave high school or go to college and say, all right, I'm just going to be a football player today. No,
Yeah.
there was some stuff that had to happen
Mm-hmm.
that create the feeling that you can make it.
Right. And there was an expectation.
Yep.
Like, these are the levels we're going to move through because Z is the end game.
And hope, and I said this earlier, hope originates in the experience
Mm-hmm.
and from the past.
Mm-hmm.
That allows me to have the confidence so that I can feel that this is obtainable.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I talk about this all the time, Doc. As you put in the work, you remember your hurdles, your pitfalls, and your stumbles and your roadblocks, but you still kept your eye on the end. I heard this the other day, and this is how I got that statement, bigger, better, faster. I go so fast that by the time somebody thinks about doing what I've done, I've already figured out 5 issues inside of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm already ahead of them,
Right.
plus 5 hurdles,
Mm-hmm.
plus 5 pitfalls, plus 5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So when people ask me how I start and how I do it, I just start.
Yeah. I like this, man. I love this because when you, like all of these words that we talk about, when you recognize how you can leverage the correct usage of the word,
Yes, it changes everything,
it
Dad.
changes everything.
Everything.
You have to move different.
Yes.
Now, knowing that hope has a component of confidence and a component of expectation.
Yes.
Now you're not just wishing willy-nilly.
No.
And the scriptural reference says it is the substance of things hoped for. So that means if there is no substance, there ain't no hope.
And now I'm just wishing.
Right.
So that lends it to a statement that I used to make a lot. I used to say, I can make that work.
Mm,
That ain't hope. That's wishing. Now.
that's wishing. Yeah.
Instead of a statement, it just works.
Right. Or the truest definition of faith, it will work.
Yes.
And being able to say that without really knowing the steps just yet.
And that lends itself to this other part that you have, thought-provoking synonyms.
Mm-hmm.
Expectation.
Yep.
Trust. Optimism. Anticipation. Assurance. Belief.
Yep.
Whew. Do you hear that, Doc?
Yeah. It don't get no more concrete.
I mean,
than that.
it don't get cleaner than that, Doc.
Yeah.
It don't.
Like nothing in those suggests
Wishing.
an if.
No. Or I
Nothing
can't.
Right. Nothing in there suggests that, bro. Like that's crazy.
And it don't even say a not yet. It don't, none of that.
Right.
All of those are right nouns.
Right. It's not no maybe.
No.
None of that.
No.
Assurance, belief, optimism, anticipation, expectation. Those are concrete. That's not guessing. That's not, maybe, I think, or no. That's.
So could we use that word to say that that's the substance?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So now here's this last part is really just for the sake of argument and controversy, right?
Or to lighten the load a little bit.
Right. Because I'm almost inclined to disagree with the idea that there are types of hope.
Okay.
And I may need to explore that, but that's the section we're going into now, that there are types of hope. And there are a bunch of different types, but in particular, there were 2 umbrellas that we put down when we first put this together. So one, there's some types of hope that are based on rationality. And then there's some types
Wait, even that word is the question.
Exactly. because that's
still a historical reference.
And it's subjective to
intellect,
your
spirituality,
context.
Everything.
And your context could be skewed.
Oh.
Whole nother topic.
Oh, yeah.
But they have different types of hope that are based on rationality and different types of hope that are based on source. So if you go with what's based on rationality, you have what's called realistic hope. And that's hope that's grounded in achievable goals and probable outcomes.
What the hell does that mean?
I think right now we're trying to, I think at this point, you know how I was, I was telling somebody the other day, man, that sometimes we as human beings don't think that something is relevant or is intellectual unless we overcomplicate it.
Ugh.
I feel like this types of hope is overcomplicating everything that we just said before. Now.
Hope grounded in achievable goals. Every goal is achievable.
Yeah.
And probable outcome.
So that's a real fancy way. That's a real fancy way of saying
keep picking fruit off the ground. You can't climb a tree.
Yeah. Well, you still need to be confident. You still need to, so anyway, let's go through it because we'll give credence to it because there are always, various sides of the coin, right?
Okay.
So realistic hope is one based on rationality. Another one is utopian hope. And that's hope for an ideal future, sometimes considered impractical or even impossible. So utopian hope. Mm-hmm. We want all the world to get along. I hope that everybody loves everybody. I hope that no one ever dies. That kind of thing. Utopian hope.
Okay.
I get it. There are people who do that, right?
Okay.
Is that hope though? And
no.
Right. See, that I wasn't going to say that, but since you said
it. My bad.
No, you're good.
For y'all that heard that, strike that from the record stenographer.
Yeah, that's my question. Is utopian hope actually hope, or are you just wishing?
But hope again is I hope that we've shed a positive light on it. Mm-hmm. So if we can shed a positive light on hope, utopian hope is a thing.
Okay.
Because sometimes that's the motivator. You know what I mean? Mm. I want to fund a nonprofit and hope it could serve underprivileged kids.
Gotcha.
Or underprivileged population of folk. Even if it's 1% of the 100%, when you begin to tie those 1% together, maybe we get to 100%. So I think that's the utopian side of it.
And I get that. Here's my counter to that. What you described, even if it's only 3% possible, it is not impossible.
Correct. So the realistic thing, approach it.
Yeah. What these guys are saying is that it's sometimes considered impractical or impossible.
Yeah.
Like if it's impossible, that ain't hope.
Yeah, that's just some other stuff.
That's dream. You dreaming.
Yeah. So I just hope that our future rulers of the planet don't really buy into the soft side of this stuff.
And so here's why I believe this podcast is so important and necessary, is because we're seeing a trend now where we're being guided, yea, even governed by this soundbite ideology that incorporates folk who feel the need to overcomplicate things to teach basic concepts.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous.
And that calls to mind, and I had this split second thought when you said that. The word no is a whole sentence. Mm-hmm. I don't have to know maybe.
Yep.
I don't have to know probably.
It is what it is.
It's no, I'm not coming. Mm-hmm. You don't stand at the door and hope he changes his mind.
At least I hope you don't. At least I hope you don't. I would like to be confident that you would not do that.
Yeah, but that speaks to the utopia or the false hope. Like,
right.
Yeah, well, he may because he came the last few times.
Mm-hmm. even though he said no.
Yes.
And here's what's crazy, bro. We're laughing about this, but if you think about it, like my space is the relationship space, right? And I can tell you countless times, instances where somebody knows and has been told and has been shown and it's been proven that this person is not going to honor this commitment.
Yeah.
And they still stand at the door.
Because they're living in the hope of what they remembered about the person. I told you hope is a thought. Hope is a remembering.
And that could probably fall into this utopian piece.
Yeah.
Right. The other one that falls under rationality is false hope. And that's optimism that is not supported by reality.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other words for that, but false hope is the nice phrase.
I think it is. Because if you're 5'5" and you hope you could dunk.
Right. That's not based in reality.
I mean, Spud Webb gave us an indication.
They got a couple, right?
Yeah.
You got a couple, but yeah.
But that ain't really for the masses.
Right. So here are the three that are based on source. You got dispositional hope. Again, we're overcomplicating a little bit. And that's my opinion.
I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening, that's my opinion.
What's disposition?
If you subscribe to this, we're not knocking it.
But what does that mean? I have a disposition. I have a thought about a hope.
Yeah, so it's according to the definition, an individual's general tendency to be hopeful. So your disposition is
good.
Hey, you're gonna be. I'm always kind of on the optimistic side of things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So my disposition is to be hopeful.
Oh, okay.
Now that could be dangerous.
Especially when you're walking down the dog alley with your hands in your pocket.
Right. You just like, everybody loves me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. God got me.
Right. That could get dangerous, but I get it. The other one is active hope. Hope that is framed as an intentional action rather than a passive expectation of an outcome. And I get that. Because really, that's a very fancy way of describing the difference between hope and wish.
Okay.
Because there's an active component. There's an active component to that.
Okay.
I get that.
I understand that.
I believe we're overcomplicating.
Yes, we described that. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Right.
I walked in a room with a pleasant attitude, changed the framework of the room.
Right.
I didn't know that was an active hope thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
And the last one is transcendent hope, which is a sense of hopefulness that extends beyond tangible goals and outcomes, often linked to spirituality or the meaning of life. Now, here's the problem I have with this. The problem I have with this definition of transcendent hope is the same problem I have with how faith has been taught.
Okay.
That's a whole conversation we won't get into now. But when we talk about faith, we'll talk about that. My problem with this is that if you read it, a sense of hopefulness that extends beyond tangible goals and outcomes, that means it ain't real. If your hope extends beyond the tangible outcomes that you can get, there's a very thin line between how you can look at that.
Okay.
You can look at that as, okay, these are supernatural occurrences.
Okay.
Which do happen. There are some things that, man, there was absolutely no way that this was going to happen, and somehow God made it happen. I get that.
Okay.
The danger in that, though, is that you can become the way you view life can be skewed.
Okay.
And you can expect, and this is just me talking, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are listening, this is just Oliver talking. I'm not saying this is law or fact. In my mind, the danger in that for me is you can begin to live in a space that is not realistic.
Okay. Transcendent hope.
Yeah. But listen, we got to talk about it all, right?
Extends beyond goals and outcomes. Often linked to spirituality. Or the meaning of life.
Right. So let me give you a great example. And let me let me preface this by saying I am not, how can I say this as a disclaimer? I am not saying that this is wrong.
Okay.
I am not bashing anybody who's been in this scenario. But I think this is a good example of how things can get skewed, right? Here's an example. Let's say my mom has stage 4 cancer.
Okay.
And they say that she has 2 days to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
I begin to kick in with a level of transcendent hope that says, although she has 2 days to live, and although all the signs point to the fact that she's about to transition, I'm going to hope that on the 3rd day, she's going to be up and well and moving like she never had cancer.
Okay.
Now, can that happen? Yes. The problem, though, is often people who have that level of transcendent hope, disappointment crushes them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that that's how I saw it. I think we all practice transcendent hope.
Okay. Tell me your viewpoint.
I hope I wake up tomorrow. Real simple.
Okay.
That's a transcendent thing. It's
Okay.
beyond a tangible because tomorrow don't exist.
Okay.
The goal is that I have a good rest, a good night's sleep, so that the outcome is I'm fresh, healthy, and all of that when I get up. So all of that spiritually thing, that's linked to the meaning of life. So transcendent hope for me is I hope I could get a good night's sleep. Or something even simpler. I hope this food don't kill me. That's all a goal, which produces an outcome.
I see that.
And that's all spiritual.
I see that. And I buy that. I do. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it, but it'll come up in I'm sure it'll come up in another word. It may come up in the religion word. Interestingly enough, right? Those examples you gave are phenomenal examples. The example that I gave, and I'm man enough to admit this, is certainly steeped in how hope and faith was taught.
Correct.
To me.
Okay.
I can admit that.
Yeah, because
so maybe my view of transcendent hope is skewed because of that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier where faith for some folk equal hope. You know what I mean? And that's excuse me, that's still not a negative thing. I think that's the reason for the podcast, though. I think the more we look at how we've thought about it, how we remember it, how we experienced it, I think if I was to use a phrase from you, overdo it, that means that we are digging deep into an area that either affects us through euphoria or through pain.
True.
Instead of just seeing it for what it is.
Yeah. True.
So the way that I saw transcendent hope, I say, oh shit, we all do that every day.
And you're right. That is a phenomenal example. I hope I wake up in the morning.
That's it.
That's a phenomenal example of transcendent hope. Yeah.
Because tomorrow is, again, ain't the tangible. It's the goal, but it ain't the tangible.
Right. It's not something you can pick.
No.
And create on your own.
No.
Man, this is good, man. For those of you who are listening, again, we always want our community to engage with us. For those of you who watch this on, I don't think I've said this, but for those of you who listen to this on Spotify in particular, you have the opportunity to answer a poll question. Give us your thoughts about it and give us some comments over there if you're listening on Spotify. And so we hope that you're engaging. We hope that you're having these conversations. We want you to listen and be like, oh, I don't agree with that. Or, yeah, I agree with, like, we want that.
Let's broaden it down.
Yeah,
let's make it work.
We need that. And so prayerfully, you guys are engaging in that way. This is hope, man.
That's what it is, bro. I think as we went through all of this generality, some of us, let me talk about me. I'm included in everything that we talked about today. Mm-hmm. There's this realistic hope, utopia, false hope, dispositional hope, active hope, transcendent hope. I know that every part of that is my life. Even through the synonym, the expectation, the optimism, expectations, assurance, all of that is a part of me. And then I lean real heavy into the spiritual reference, the substance of things hoped for. So I lean probably heavily into that because I don't know a tomorrow. I don't know an hour from now. So I lean into that so heavy with the word hope.
Yeah.
And hope, man, I wish I had another word. I know that I'm trying to activate a belief system that allows me to show up with that same level of bravado, intelligence, cognitive thought, high IQ of intelligence, so that whatever I hope for, I show up the right way to receive it.
Yeah. And I, through this conversation, really, the thing that I'm taking away from this is that I have to really evaluate what the things I say I hope for, what is my level of confidence and expectation?
Okay.
And is it to the point where it is causing me to plan and act?
Okay.
Or am I just merely wishing on some stuff?
Yeah, because hope for real is I hope that I am prepared for. Mm-hmm. That's all hope really is.
Yeah.
I hope that I've practiced enough. Mm-hmm. I've hoped that I studied enough so that I could perform. Anytime I put hope on the outside of me, I've created an expectation that ain't real.
Wow. That's good. Well, listen, those of you who are watching and or listening, here's one for you. We hope that you continue to rock with us.
Absolutely. Future thought.
We're confident that you are going to rock with us.
Yeah.
And we have an expectation that you will based on the conversations that we have. And so we hope that this has been beneficial to you. And please.
I guess they can expect that we'll show up every Friday, right?
You can expect that.
So they can be assured of that, right?
They can be assured of
that. They can believe in that, right?
They can believe there. It is there, man. So again, always a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir.
Always
yes,
a
sir.
pleasure.
Absolutely.
There is not I can say this without it being fabricated in any way. I have taken something away from every last one of these
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I have walked away with stuff to think about, things to evaluate, adjustments that need to be made so that we are not using the wrong words. And with that, we're going to get out of here. And until next time, keep thinking.
Thank you for joining us on the Wrong Words podcast. We're so glad you took the time to listen, and we hope this episode gave you something to think about, question, and explore. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. We'd also love for you to rate and review the show. Your feedback helps us reach more people with these important discussions. And don't keep it to yourself. Share this podcast with someone who might find it helpful or inspiring. Be sure to subscribe to the Wrong Words podcast on YouTube for more content, and follow us on social media to stay connected and to be a part of the community we're building. Until next time, God bless.